Jonathan said you guys had a players-only meeting Sunday night. I guess can you walk us through that and the impetus for it and what you guys got out of it?
We just had to talk about things that aren't going so well with the team right now. We got to figure things out. We ended that game with a little less class than we like, but things happen. It's an emotional game, so came through and talked about everything that went down that night and everything that went down before that night too. And just focus on the little things, figuring everything out, and coming back stronger next week.
Who makes that call? Is it like captain's collective?
Yeah, but Maverick Hansen brought it up. But overall, he asked for our, not approval, but just see where our heads were at too. So we all said, yeah, it's probably good for us. Came in and did it.
And can you describe where your guys' heads are collectively? Coming out of that, what did you find out?
If you're looking for me to say I'm discouraged, I'm not. I don't think any of us are. We want that game. Game's over, but we want it back. But it's over, so it is what it is. We're on to Indiana next week. Focus on that right now.
How to make the balance between maybe the frustration of not getting a game like that, but some of the positive gains you guys have made over the last few weeks, and even in that game, the amount of rushing yards you guys have had. It feels like you guys have been stacking some things.
Yeah. Again, like I said weeks before, we just need to finish in the red zone, need to score. That's really our biggest thing. We scored in that game. We didn't do it, so didn't execute. That's all it was. It's the little things, and it's been a long time, but hopefully we get that done this week.
Does it help when you're coming off obviously an emotional game to have an unbeaten top 15 team come in here just to kind of, I don't know, maybe get your attention back on the field and not dwelling on the last week?
Again, 24-hour rule. Thought about it. Okay, we came out, we didn't win the game. It was a big game, emotional game. Didn't win it. Okay, we got 24 hours to think about it. Now we on it next week. So that's what happened. As soon as 24 hours hit, or as soon as basically the next day hit, really, we talked about it, went to a players meeting, came back next day, and we're ready to go for Indiana. So,
Aidan, now that you've been through it once, what did you learn about that rivalry, and how did it compare to, I guess, what you thought it might have been, and all that?
It's a big one. It's a big rivalry. I came from a school outside of rivalry, in-state rivalry, and honestly, it was nothing like this one. The hatred is strong. I feel it between the teams and coaches, but it is what it is. So yeah.
After the game, Nate talked about how calm you are in the huddle and how that has an effect on your teammates. And I'm curious where that comes from, because as a quarterback, you have a lot more responsibility than really anyone else in that field. Being the main guy, I'm just curious where that calm comes from and what enables you to keep that.
You got to think about it as like you're an athletic trainer. If you see a kid who broke his leg, you can go out there and freak out. He gonna freak out too. So you can't do that. You got to go out there and be calm, and then your team looks after you like they do it. You are the example. So if they're gonna look after you, and I might be young, but I'm still the quarterback, like you said. So they look up to me, and I have to be there when they need me. So that's where the calm demeanor comes from.
When in your life did you adopt that, or when did you realize that?
Really starting in high school. Just coming out. This is really a role that I want to be in, and this is really a role that I have to take charge in. So it's if I'm out there we guys like this, that, third, then they're gonna be second guessing themselves, stuff like that. If I'm out there and I'm all right, we're gonna get this, then we're gonna go out there and we're gonna do what we do. If we don't get it, we don't get it. It is what it is. But always got to believe and trust that you're gonna do something and just be able to execute. So
on that third down completion to Montori, can you talk about how much you've grown to rely on him, trust him? There's a third down situation, wasn't it, on that slot fade or whatever you call that? Talk about Montori and how you guys have kind of formed. It looks like a connection there.
Should have scored on that. I underthrew the ball, but he had him beat. I should have given him a better ball touchdown for real, but it is what it is. But I trust all my guys. I feel like all my guys can compete with anybody in the country, and we can go out there and I can let the ball go and they'll come down with it. So it really wasn't a thing about gaining more trust over the season. It was more just we just got to click, we just got to connect. So that's really it.
What has led to this sort of turnaround in the run game lately? If you're coming out of the bye week since then, and how much is that? In what ways and how has that helped you with what you want to do when you guys are able to run the ball? It's the way
I think we just took more pride in it. We come out and our run game not clicking. We need the run game to click so we can throw out there and throw the ball as well. So come out, have two great backs, a great O-line in front of us, and we're just going in and basically just executing and competing like we're supposed to do. We find it started to click like you've seen. So biggest thing is, I mean, that's clicking out, but now we just got to score.
How's that helping you? Like, does that make things easier on you? Less
For
pressure
sure.
or whatever it
Yeah,
might
I
be?
mean, it was never any pressure for real, but it does make it easier. It makes my job a lot easier, you know, being able to just hand the ball off and watch my guys go, and then I can come back and, you know, fake a handoff, maybe get them the ball again. But whatever happens, happens. But I mean, it makes my job a lot easier for sure.
You talk about the leadership component. How much leadership did you have to show with the offensive line to get to this point? Because it seemed like like you talk about the building blocks, they're the ones that really kind of stack some things up for you. But when they were struggling, how much did you try and, like, what kind of things did you do to try and keep them hype and keep them focused?
Our biggest thing, I don't think they were ever struggling. I think we just weren't clicking as an offense. I don't think it was on them. That O-line does great things. They work hard every day. They come in and do what they're supposed to do. It's just, you know, offense wasn't clicking at the time. And I think the biggest thing was keeping energy up. That's really what we focus on, you know, just keeping energy up. And once we did that and, you know, came out of the bye week fresh, ready to go, you saw the energy was up and we did what we had to do. So, yeah.
What you like most that the helmet communication wasn't working on the first drive? I guess what was that like? And did you know, the flip from never having it to relying on it? Did that kind of come into play?
Not really. I mean, I was just like, all right, can't hear it. I mean, give me a play, let's go. We have a risk coach, so they're just gonna let me know the number, let me know the play. I mean, I play football, so I mean, had to adjust, had to adapt.
Was it working right after that second drive?
Yeah, it worked.
A lot of people were talking about, I guess, fans, were wondering why there were more play action, deep shots, I guess, in the game. I mean, can you kind of explain what you were seeing out there from a coverage standpoint that they were doing that may have
Nothing special.
influenced that?
I mean, it was just a good defense. I mean, decent defense came out. They did what they were supposed to do. They did their job. But our run game was clicking. We didn't really have to do too much. So, I mean, we were driving. We drove down the field most of the whole game. We had the ball the whole game. So, it was really just on us to finish. You know, it really wasn't anything about being explosive like that. It was just finishing the drives. So, yeah.
What do you like most about playing with Jack Valley? Curious with being on the team.
He's reliable. You know, he's very reliable. You can throw the ball in any situation. He's gonna be able to catch that ball. You know, I missed him on that drift we ran late in the game, but other than that, like, I mean, I threw him one earlier than that, so I mean, he's a reliable dude.
On that 4th and 5 play at the end of the game, 4th and 6, other than not having much time to throw, what did you see during that play? Did the man-to-man surprise you guys a little bit? Or?
I'm not gonna say it surprised us. I'm just gonna say that the play we called probably wasn't the best for that defense, and we talked about it, like, we know. But overall, we just, you know, play broke down, had to make a play, didn't do it. That's what it was. It's football. It's gonna happen. Probably could do some things different, but it is what it is. It's over now. So.
With what you are doing in the run game, I mean, how much does that open up some of the play action? I mean, and, you know, the idea that, you know, teams are really having to honor the run, you know, especially
What I'm doing or what the team?
Yeah, what it does for you when teams are respecting the run as much as they are.
It opens everything up. Makes them respect. It makes them respect everything. You know, makes them understand that we can run and throw. I mean, we have weapons all over the field, and we can use them. Basically, yeah.
When you went back and watched the fumble at the end of the half, what kind of things did you see that maybe you would have done differently, and maybe what you did see there?
Well, I was on the verge of throwing the ball away. I knew that, but should have just thrown it away earlier. Didn't see anything. Trying to make something happen. You know, 20 seconds left. It wasn't the smartest play, but I thought I didn't hear anything, didn't feel anything behind me, so it was just a rookie mistake again. Playing football, got really lazy with the ball, careless, and, you know, one thing led to another. Gave him 3 points.
When you have backside pressure like that, what is that? Is your signal coming from one of the blockers usually?
What does that mean?
Like if someone leaks out, like on your blind side, you hear, like, does someone shout out like fire or anything? Like,
Nah, I mean,
you
it's
gotta
just
sense it.
yeah. It's just I was playing football, didn't feel anything. You know, usually, you know, you feel pressure. You sense like you play quarterback, so you have to be aware of your surroundings. And I wasn't. Got real careless again, and that's what happened.
You mentioned ball control. How much do you see that being kind of the element that, you know, you guys value as an offense to the point that it could really help out your defense, especially against this game against Indiana, considering they have an explosive offense themselves?
keeping other offenses off the field is big for our team in general. Just giving us a chance to score, and also making it harder for them to get on the field and score. Like it just takes up more time, it's basically just puts us in better positions to win the game. And we've been doing that good so far. We just have to finish. I keep repeating, but we just got to finish in the red zone, and after we do that, I think will be straight for sure.
You guys got a month to go in. You guys have made some in-season improvements that we've talked about. What's sort of the offense's goal through this last 4? What do you feel like you guys can still clean up? What's sort of the aiming point of this last stretch for you guys as a unit?
We just got to score. That's it. I mean, you see it. We're not putting up the points that we want to put up. Get into the red zone. How many times did we get to the red zone last game? I don't know. Three. Three. Well, we was in there. I think it was more than that, honestly. I don't know. Maybe. Well, it doesn't matter. If we score 3, 4, if we score every time we get in the red zone, we win that game. So things like that, little things like that. So, just scoring. That's the biggest thing we need to focus on.
Thanks, Aidan.
So,